Bishop, the author of the new novel/mock memoir, Grandpop. Back in the misty eons of time, before the internet, before cell phones and text messages, even before compact discs and MP3s, I set out to accomplish one goal, and that goal was to become a rock star. That's right, I wanted to be the androgynous cat on the poster over a young girl's bed, the one she says a penitent goodnight to before she drifts off to dreams of doing my dishes and emptying my ashtrays and, well, other stuff too. Unlike so many who harbor such dreams, I was very, very fortunate because my envisioned career in rock didn't turn out to just be a fantasy. Through the 70s and into the 80s, I actually made records for several major labels. I shared stages with superstars, I wrote songs, and I sang in the studio with legends. However, I did fall short in my ultimate goal of becoming an international superstar. Once again, I consider myself fortunate. I can't help but believe that had my rock star life gone according to plan, I might not be alive today. Admittedly, I developed some very self-destructive habits out there on the many tours across the United States and Canada.
The subject of my new novel, Grandpop, Keefe Taylor, did accomplish his goal of rock superstardom. He also survived every single cliche you might see in a classic episode of VH1's Behind the Scenes. Alcoholism, drug addiction, numerous tabloid-covered arrests, an embarrassing public divorce, and near bankruptcy. You know the old tale, a crew of stoned, oblivious rockers getting ripped off by greedy, unscrupulous managers, accountants, and record companies.
As the story begins, Keefe has been clean and sober now for 14 years. And he's got his hard rock unit, King Pest, functioning as a money-making juggernaut. However, even though he's rich, famous, and shacking up with a 22-year-old supermodel and living the life every heterosexual male fantasizes about, Keefe finds himself unfulfilled. To make matters worse, as he approaches his 50th birthday, his only daughter informs him that he's about to become a grandfather. This surprise news is too much for our rock and roll Peter Pan to handle, and the poop hits the propeller.
How can you do this to me? I'm a rocker, not a freaking granddaddy. You can't be serious. No, I'm not gonna be a grandfather. Tell me you're just making this up. That you're joining the Peace Corps in Afghanistan, or that you've been convicted of armed robbery. Something, anything but this. You think anybody wants to see some kid's granddaddy go out there 100 nights a year and shake his ass in front of 20,000 people? What's so sweet about that?
Will Keefe Taylor finally grow up and learn to cope with what he sees as only ominous life changes? Will he be able to reconstruct the family bridge he blows to bits? Those questions and more are answered in this new mock memoir. But I've tried to make Grandpop more than just a satire of the celebrity memoir genre, although I hope to entertain you and to give you lots of laughs. The book also delves into aging in a youth-obsessed society, the ravenous 24-hour news cycle, family relationships, friendship, addiction, depression, forgiveness, and ultimately, love. Peter Noon, yes, Herman of Herman's Hermits, says, "What fun! I see myself in it." 80s rock icon Kip Winger says, "Grandpop is like Spinal Tap meets Running with Scissors." Bishop weaves this compelling tale with a mastery of the language and a spot-on sense of humor. And Peter Cooper, senior music writer of the Tennessean, says, "Keefe Taylor ages like rock and roll itself, confusedly, hilariously, sometimes wretchedly, and ultimately triumphantly. Grandpop is grand fun." Delations.